Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to BBA Daily News 008. I'm your host, Mr. Tristan John, and joining me tonight, I have my co-host
My you sharp.
in the building, and we are back again with another night of the news. We apologize for any lapses in our Monday to Friday shooting schedule, ladies and gentlemen. We are building the plane as we fly it here at BBA. So we appreciate you guys who are watching out there, tuning in. Thanks for checking us out. Let us know in the comments or on any social media, anything we can do to bring you guys a better show. Once again, we're just trying to curate the news for you guys on a nightly basis so that you don't have to go do it for yourself over here. Right, Mayu?
I agree, young man.
There we go, man. I appreciate that. It makes me feel not so old, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, man. Nonetheless, we have a great lineup of stories here today, and it's always, as we bring in the news to you guys, it's always difficult trying to decide on exactly what it is we want to talk about, Mayu. I mean, this is a good problem to have. There's so much going on.
It's a good problem. I feel like sometimes, I don't know what it is. It just seems like the NFL might be a little bit more dramaful than the NBA. I don't know why that is. Have you noticed that, or is it just me?
I think you're onto something. I think it might have to do with the levels of aggression, just generally speaking, that you need.
Yeah, they bust their heads all day, man. It's not
literally and figuratively.
Right.
And speaking of, we're gonna do some crossover and cover the NFL today, which a shout out to Tom Brady, his retirement. We're gonna talk a little bit about that. But looking at the news lineups today, we have 4 stories that we're gonna bring to you guys. A pretty light show today. We're gonna cover Mr. Maxey and the Sixers. We're gonna cover LeBron James and Tom Brady comparisons. We're going to cover the Kia top 5 with Embiid edging out Tatum. And we're going to cover Austin Reaves and Alex Caruso comparisons. And, if there's one thing I'm noticing, there's a lot of comparisons on the docket tonight, Maya.
Yeah.
Just coincidentally.
Oh, ironically, they always got a little method going on for us, making it easy for us.
Making it easy for us. Yeah, appreciate the NBA for just bringing the stories right to our desk, and then we makes our job easy to just bring them to you.
Let's see what we got.
So the first story of the night: Tyrese Maxey is making his mark in Philly. Right? What do you think of that, Mayu?
I would, every time I hear his name, I think about that Maxey song, and I think it's Murder, She Wrote. I think it's.
I knew about a girl, her name was Maxey.
Yeah.
Something goes.
See, I didn't know the words.
Have you heard about Maxey? Well, see, I'm from the Caribbean. Murder, She Wrote. Yeah, I know that one.
Shaba. I know that part.
I don't know if that's the same song, but I'll let you get away with that. We can give you that. We can give you that one. We can give you that one.
I mean,
we can give you that one.
Work with me here.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Where else? What other NBA podcasts are they singing to you like we are? Singing to you so sweetly. Where else can you get this? Let's see. Okay, I don't know what this is about. These are ads. We don't want to watch these ads. No, we're not gonna watch their ads. We're gonna bring it over here. Yeah. So tell us about Tyrese Maxey and making his mark. Go ahead, Mike.
So Tyrese Maxey, I believe he went to Kentucky, if I remember correctly, and really speedy guard, good player, as they would say in the NBA or in the basketball world. He is pretty shifty.
Fair use, ladies and gentlemen. Not sorry to cut you. Can you see this, by the way?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, great. Fair use. Go ahead, Mike.
Pretty shifty. Shout out to D. Scott from Orlando Magic back in the day, Anthony Hardaway and Shaquille O'Neal. He's a good player. Good player. He had a really good postseason last year. He kind of they needed him a little bit. Wasn't going far with the team, but he was able to give them a spark in the playoffs, and I'm happy for him that it's still shining this year. So
Nice. Yeah, man. Yeah, he's quick. He's quick on his feet.
yeah.
So do you think that with a roster around him, guys like Embiid, how do you see Philadelphia shaping up as we kind of go into the back half of the season here?
Oh, it's all about Joel Embiid and James Harden. They are the key to the ship.
Got you.
This game is a mental game. It's a lot of it's mental. A lot of talented players, but in the playoffs, you got to be mentally tough. Everything got to be in line. Team got to be cohesive.
Yep.
Everything just has to be working on all cylinders at that point. So, hopefully they can get that together going into the playoffs.
Got you. Good take. Yeah, man. Anything else on this one before we go? I don't want to keep playing the footage there. It's not a lot of good footage though.
Yeah. Nah, that's it, man. Shout out to my guy Maxey. Continue doing great things, bro.
Right on. Now, this is a very interesting article. This is something you don't see every day. I don't know how they just switched to this thing here. Where's the last thing we were looking at? Hey, what happened? They just had it up.
You gonna watch this highlight?
Right. Hold on. We're gonna try that again. There we go. All right, just stay right here. Cool.
There we go.
So,
oh man.
Oh wait, let me hit play. Let's see what they're gonna do. All right, we're not gonna watch their ads anyway. So they're trying to make these comparisons to LeBron and Tom Brady's career, right? Now it says here, with a nod to Tom Brady's retirement for good from the NFL, Game Time reviews the 2-decade runs of a pair of all-time greats as LeBron continues chasing history. So first of all, my first question, right? Are we comparing oranges and apples here?
Yeah, more like oranges and bananas.
Oranges and bananas. Okay, so not even close.
Not even close. I mean, Tom Brady couldn't do anything LeBron could do by far. And out of all fairness, LeBron can't do it. Tom Brady can do so. Gotcha. Out of respect for the both of them in their career and their talent, you can't even really compare them.
Got you.
I don't even know why they do that.
I'm trying to find that little chart they had. Where is that thing?
They wanted you to watch that video. That was just as.
Here it is. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna leave it on this, right?
Yeah, good job.
Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay, so all right, so we're looking at seasons, career win percentage, playoff app. What I don't know what playoff apps is abbreviated for, titles, and then MVPs, right? So roughly similar amount of seasons. Okay, so in essence, they're very durable, very showing a lot of longevity. Albeit in different sports that have different physical demands, right? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's fair to say.
Career win percentage, I don't know over what total percentage of games. Arguably, LeBron has played dozens more games than Tom Brady has.
Yeah, by far.
So I don't know how similar. If anything, this highlights the differences more so than anything. I would say about the sports, the demands on the body. But it still kind of speaks to their longevity and durability. I would argue too. And then if I only knew what playoff app meant, I could probably try to
playoff appearances.
Appearances.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. So playoff appearances. How would you compare the playoff journey and the playoff experience to be one that is similar enough that we can even say these numbers have any meaning?
Out of fairness, I want to look at the title and says best in their business.
Yeah.
But the way they have it set up is that they're comparing them to
say,
almost seeming like, okay, Tom Brady was the better all-around athlete. than LeBron James. And I'm not saying that's what they're saying, but it just makes it seem like it because his numbers are, of course, better than LeBron James.
Exactly. And to the, you know, if taken without context, one might, you know, incorrectly come to that conclusion, which is, you know, one can have that opinion. It's an opinion. It's not a fact, right?
Right.
So playoff appearances, again, you know, my thing is, you know, out of respect for both of their careers and their games, I would say it's more so points to their longevity and durability than anything else, and also their level of skill, right? Because getting into a playoff is a very competitive affair, and you know, doing it in the NFL is, I mean, I don't know what's more competitive. Probably just as competitive as doing it in the NBA, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, I still would argue though, because, you know, I love a good logical debate. I still would make the argument that because LeBron plays more games in the season and in the playoffs, I would argue that maybe if you wanna say who's better, I'll say that's more impressive to me, playing more games to get to the actual playoff, right?
That's a good point.
You know, what do you, and then we have titles. Yeah, man, listen, you know, this brings us back to and then MVPs, right? This brings us back to Mayu. We were having a discussion right before we got on camera of sometimes making up stats to make up stats is not always a good pursuit of your time.
Right. It's I mean, I can imagine, and I would really hope that these folks were getting paid for this because it makes no sense. Like, what are you in your mother's basement? You know, are you in a bad marriage?
Oh my gosh!
Anything else besides?
Oh, by the way, if you're watching from your mother's basement or if you're watching a bad marriage, we have love for you too. Shout out to you. Okay, I don't think Mayu's throwing shade to you.
No.
Yeah, I just want to say that.
We're just trying to figure out what look up these type of stats and what kind of time you have, you know, what your lifestyle looks like. You know, that's all.
Well, these are I don't know who put this together. Arguably, these are people from the I don't know which sports organization, if any, put this together, but these are, you know, credible organizations that put these stats together for us here today. So, you know, I don't,
They get paid for this. That's
so somebody, I guess somebody got paid to do this. You know,
yeah, that's not a bad career if you ask me. You know, if that's the case.
What I will say is, right, you know, yeah, these guys have fantastic careers. I think to try to say who's better is like, you know, trying to argue whether would you say whether an orange is the same as a banana, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's you know, it's just, what's the point? You know, they both have different nutritional value. You know, they're both they're both a part of a good balanced diet. You know, like it's you should enjoy both. These guys are both treasures. Why are we trying to come put them against each other? I don't understand this. You know,
right?
But nonetheless, I think it's you know, makes for a good thought exercise at the very least.
Right.
But then at the end of it, I still feel like I didn't get my money's worth because then I asked myself, why did I do that? You know what I'm saying? So like, I have buyer's remorse. So like, hey man, why'd y'all have me thinking about this, man? This wasn't really. I'm just left not really sure how I'm supposed to feel about this in the end.
Right. No, that's nothing for us really.
You know, but thanks, we have to bring it to you guys, ladies and gentlemen, because men in suits were talking about it too. Look at these guys over here. These guys, these guys were in suits talking about this.
Scott,
right? So this is a real news story right here, guys. So just bringing you the news. Oh man, good stuff. Embiid edges out Tatum for the number 2 spot on the Kia top 5. So Kia has the MVP ladder. It's all the rage, right? And then also, in addition to that story, Luka, Doncic, and Ja Morant slip while 3 new names enter the chase on of the top 5 Kia MVP contenders. So,
Luka.
what do you have to say about this one, Mikey? What are your thoughts on this one, man?
I mean, of course, I got to talk about my Mavericks. The only reason why Luka slipped is because someone slipped on his ankle a couple of games prior to, and he had to sit out a game or two.
Gotcha.
So he missed the game, so a number goes down a little bit. But look at Jokic just looking up there, just sit and chill. No serious business on his face, but his name is the Joker. So Joel passing Tatum. Hey, that's going to be a back and forth battle, especially on the East. You're looking at the Eastern Conference playoffs right there. Between any of those teams, you're looking at conference finals winners out of those 3 teams that they play on. So that's a tough one. But I'm glad my guy Luka's still on there. Holding on strong. Of course, it's just the first half of the season, so I'm not tripping.
Also, we learned in the world of facts that I don't know what to do with. We learned the other day that Luka scores most of his 50-point games in Texas.
Man, I thought you was my boy, man. You just had to bring that up. You just had to bring that up, bro.
I figured our audience would want to know.
I thought we were just cool. You know how I felt about that erroneous stat. It just is pointless.
Maya's like, I can't believe this. This is reprehensible.
Man, we didn't rehearse this, man. I thought we had a lot of conversations before this YouTube, and you didn't tell me none of this.
Oh man, hey man. Oh, that's great content. Oh man, yeah. But so Luka's he's healthy, he's back from his injury. How are your Mavs looking right now?
They looking good, I don't want to get too high, I'm not going to get too low. We right in the middle where we need to be going into the All-Star weekend.
Let me ask you something, right? Do you remember because obviously I'm getting reacquainted with all of the stories of everybody in the NBA and whatnot. Do you remember the Dirk Nowitzki, Steve Nash Dallas Mavericks? You remember that Mavericks?
What? How could I forget? That's how I fell in love with the Mavericks. Nice.
So comparing, because I always got to ask the dynasty comparison question.
Here we go.
It wouldn't be a BBA show if I don't bring you back to a vintage era team.
Correct.
Right?
That's correct.
So how do you compare that Mavericks team to today's Mavericks team? And then my second question: how does, in your opinion, Doncic compare to Nowitzki? Go ahead.
All right. So when Dirty Dirt Nowitizki, and Steve Nash were on the same team, those are 2 Hall of Famers or future Hall of Famers on one team.
Yep.
Doncic is the only possible future Hall of Famer I can see on the Mavericks.
Okay.
I mean, you heard it here first. He's definitely going to make the Hall of Fame. And it's a great. He has the similar game to Dirk Nowitzki, kind of slower, not as fast. Can play in the post, turnaround jumper. I would just think Doncic is a bit more versatile and stronger player than Dirk Nowitzki was. He was a little bit more lanky, wiry, definitely a better shooter than Doncic, more consistent for sure.
Would you dare say he's a Nowitzki 2.0?
Oh man.
Or is he his own line?
So for all my DragonBall Z fans out there, I believe he is a fusion of Dirk Nowitzki and Larry Bird.
Like a fusion dance fusion, or like an earring fusion?
Ooh, you went into the
For all
vault.
our real Dragon Ball Z fans out there,
Oh,
what kind of fusion? And that's a great way to put it. And you've heard it here first. We're gonna have to clip that. That's gonna have to be a short, right?
yes.
Mayu just said, and I don't know if anyone's ever said this before, that Luka Doncic is like a fusion between Dirk Nowitzki and Larry Bird, right? Now, he used the DBZ metaphor to illustrate that, right? So you're saying he combines both of their skills. But still, to answer the question, what kind of fusion would you say it is? Is it like a temporary fusion, or he's like a permanent fusion of these two? You think?
Nah, it's like an earring fusion,
Like
and
an earring fusion? Okay,
in that fusion, he gained another superpower.
okay, that makes sense. We're gonna leave it at that for people that don't watch Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. We're not
Basically, we're not gonna get too deep into that metaphor, but he's basically saying that Doncic is a combination of Nowitzki and Larry Bird. That is Mayu's take on it. Anything else on this one?
Man, that's it, man. I don't want to see Don 5 anymore.
Nice. You don't want to see what?
Doncic looking at number 5 right now. I want to see him at number 1, number 2, but it's all good.
Last story. We're gonna talk about these Alex Caruso, Austin Reaves comparisons. Let's talk about that for a second.
Man, what's going on with these comparisons, man? They just want to
It's a
compare
comparison show.
anything. It's the comparison show.
You know, tomato, potato over here.
Is there? We should have a comparison show.
Maybe you should say that for the podcast. Oh, which we'll be live streaming, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Keep an eye out for our very first live stream. You know, we just figured it would be a great way to interact with our audience in a way that's just easy and natural. Have conversations with you guys, bring you guys the news, bring you special guests, and just have a good time.
Mm-hmm. Tell us when we're wrong and tell us when we're right. Don't be shy.
But just talk to me nice. Bars.
Talk to me nice.
Mixtape coming soon.
What's her name? Ice Spice?
Oh boy.
Ice Spice. I'm gonna leave it at that. That's a little too spicy.
I was sitting up in my chair. I was like, where is he going with this?
Ooh, that's a little too spicy. That's just a nice young lady. That's all I have to say.
Shout out to Ice Spice.
Shout out to Ice Spice.
Yeah. So let's talk about these comparisons here. Where do you think this article's first of all, do you think that these guys are, what similarities do Austin Reaves and Alex Caruso have?
I would say the biggest comparison that they have would probably be their skin complexion. That's and they played for the Lakers.
Okay, so that's really what it is.
Yeah, I mean Caruso used to play for the Lakers, and they don't play on the same team, so I don't know why they would even compare these two. I mean, their games are just totally different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Caruso is way more athletic.
Mm-hmm.
And he admits to that. You know, Reaves admits to the fact that Caruso is way more athletic, and he doesn't understand the comparison either. You know, you just have people just comparing just the fact that, you know, they have the same complexion, you know.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so listen, man. Shout out to both of those guys.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things. I think what I'm learning about you know is about the NBA is we love a good comparison in general. Yep. we love taking this thing over here and putting it next to this thing over here, and then try to find out as much as we can about how they're the same even when they're not. You know, so hey, it's giving us some content. We're advancing the dialogue forward, and yeah, it's pretty. For the most part, I'd say it's pretty entertaining.
Yeah, man. We got us a good show, man. I like what we got going on here, man. We just getting started. We got a lot of things coming up. Better Ball Association. Y'all better get used to it because y'all gonna hear a lot of us.
Well, there you have it, folks. That's a great outro. I don't know what much more to say after that one. We're gonna get this one up and get a timestamp. That's an awesome virtual background you got there. We're gonna stop recording. We'll take it out. BBA 008. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
Holla at me.